Hey, what is up everybody? This is Damron. We're playing Halo Infinite. We're on part 5 of our 100% collectible and achievement guide, which brings us to the connections portion of the map where you're told to go to the excavation site. That's the main mission. So we're going to do a lot of things before that. Again, we finished the lockdown area. We progressed north over this bridge here. And now we're into this large area that's referred to as connections. So there's a bunch of stuff to get here, and we're going to break this up into 2 portions. So before and after the excavation main mission, we're going to go ahead and tackle the southern portion first. The first thing that you're going to come to is Forward Operating Base Echo. So as I mentioned in the previous guides, we're going to be getting everything: the UNSC Spartan, Banished Audio Logs, Skulls, Spartan Cores, Armor Lockers, Forerunner Artifacts, Propaganda Towers, the Distress Calls, High Value Targets, and the Outposts. Hopefully in the most efficient way possible as you're kind of playing the game to minimize backtracking. So our first UNSC audio log, as always, there's one at every forward operating base. This one is no different. It can be found just to the left there. Moving on to the Spartan audio log next, you can see I'm placing my marker kind of a little bit north of me, so it's not too far. You can see I've just kind of placed it north, a little bit east, kind of north by northeast, I guess. So just place the marker, you know, where I did. It's a little bit further, but actually just northeast of FOB Echo. Just kind of jump over this rock structure, and on the opposite side you'll see a dead Marine with our next audio log. From that audio log, we're going to get our next armor locker. And again, the armor lockers are essentially cosmetics that are only used in multiplayer. They're not anything you can use in the actual campaign itself. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and get this. You can see this one, it was south of a FOB Echo. So just put a marker on that. It should be highlighted on your map after you capture FOB Echo. So just go to that. You'll find it tucked in some tree here next to these sniper rifles. So go ahead and grab that, and then let's get moving on.
You all right, Marine?
All right, so east of FOB Echo is going to be our first outpost of this area, the Redoubt of Sundering. So you can see that just east there. And as I mentioned in the previous open world sections of Zeta Halo, you are going to want to complete these outposts because some of the doors are going to be locked in order for us to get the collectibles that are in those doors. Also, we need to do all the outposts in order to get the achievement to do all 7 of the banished outposts. So this is no different. You're going to come in here, just do the objective, and eventually you're going to complete this outpost and you're going to be freeing the squad leader. So it's going to end right here, and from this squad leader is where we're going to start off to collect all of our collectibles in this area. So we're here in the outpost itself in the Redoubt of Sundering. You can see we just rescued this guy here. So from that squad leader, just turn around in the same building that he's in. You're going to find your first banished audio log in the connections section. From that outpost, we're just going to turn around, head out the door. Now we're kind of heading west from where we were, and you can kind of just head down into this portion of the outpost, and you'll find this structure here that is now open, and we can go into it to collect our next banished audio log. From that banished audio log, now we're going to get our first Spartan Core of this area. So just exit that and kind of jump over this fence and go to the eastern side of the outpost, and you can see kind of tucked behind these cargo-like structures will be our next Spartan Core. Again, be sure you're upgrading your equipment as you're playing the game with these Spartan Cores as we collect them, so we can get the achievements to fully upgrade all of our equipment. From that Spartan Core, just turn and head up east. We're going to kind of shoot on top of that little structure there, and behind it you're going to see a cave that's lit up with this red light. Go ahead and enter that cave, and as you go through about halfway, we're going to find our next audio log tucked in some rocks here. From that audio log, go ahead and progress through the rest of the tunnel. So we're just going to exit out the other side now, and now you can see we're kind of out on the northern side of the outpost. And from that cave, just head straight west and jump up on these rocks here, and in the top of the rocks will be our next audio log. Moving on to our next collectible, which is a Spartan Core that can be found north of us. You can see it's in this field here. Pretty easy to spot. It's not hidden or anything. So just head up there where you can see I'm right in the middle of this area, and you're going to find a crashed kind of lifeboat. Inside of that lifeboat is going to be our next Spartan Core. Alright, so moving on to our first UNSC Distress Call of the connection section, which is Courier Squad. We'll just go over this briefly. I'm going to show you all of the locations of the UNSC Distress Calls. We need to do all of those in order to get an achievement. So we're going to head there, and you're going to find some Marines. They're either going to be kind of tied up, or they'll be fighting some Banished. All you need to do is go to these sections, clear out all of the Banished, and once you do that, you will get a notification that you have completed it, you know, saved Courier Squad, and you'll get a little bit of Valor. So that's what we need to do. Again, I'll show you all those locations as we're going forward. So from Courier Squad, now head into our attack map, and you can see just a little bit east of us is our next armor locker. So not too far from Courier Squad, a little bit east up there. So go ahead and place a marker on that and just kind of follow that marker. The marker is great because it really takes you exactly where you need to go. Sometimes things will be above or below it, but for the most part, it'll get you there pretty easily. So head over there and get our next armor locker. Alright, so from that armor locker, we're going to head south now to our first propaganda tower in this section. So you can see I'm south of where we were, and we're kind of up on this ridge here, up on this mountains area. So if you head south, again, just kind of mark this on your map and head in that direction. You can kind of see we're up on the top of this hill-like area, or this hilly area. And as these propaganda towers, they're always the same. We're going to be blowing these up, you know, energy weapons, plasma brigades, those work really well on those. So blow that up and let's get moving. So from that propaganda tower, we are going to be going into our attack map. Now we're going to head southeast of where we were. So you can see we're jumping off that cliff here. We're heading to this spire-like structure, and this is where the spire mission will be a little bit later. But first we're going to be jumping down here, and you can find this Spartan Core kind of next to some wreckage. From that Spartan Core, if you just immediately go north from it, not very far, again, just a little bit, you're going to find this crashed Warthog. Right in the front wheel of that area is going to be our next audio log. Alright, so let's head back into our attack map now. In this area, we're heading over to the east from where we were. So you can see that's the Spartan Core that we got. We traversed over a little bit east, slightly north to this propaganda tower, which is a little bit south of FOB Delta. So just make your way over there. And again, you're going to find this propaganda tower kind of tucked into this area behind some trees. So go there, throw a plasma grenade at it, whatever you want to do, and blow that up. Alright, so once we've blown that propaganda tower up, now we're going to capture forward operating base Delta. So go ahead and clear out all the Banished here, and then capture that FOB, and now you'll be able to use that as a fast travel point. We'll be able to spawn some vehicles there, as well as re-upping our weapon ammo and things like that. Also, whenever you capture these, again, they will spawn some locations of collectibles in the surrounding area, and as always, there will be an audio log at the FOB itself. So just to the right of that column where you capture it, you'll find this audio log propped against this container here. From FOB Delta, now we're going to head to the northwest. So we're at the bottom of this large cliff here. So you can see it's an armor locker all the way there. So you should be able to use your attack map and place your custom waypoint on that. And you'll find that all the way at the bottom of that large mountain. So go ahead and collect that right at the bottom behind those sandbags right up next to the rocks there. So from that, we're going to head now to the east of FOB Delta. So you can see now we're kind of to the eastern side. So FOB Delta is right there to the left. So we made our way all the way to the east, and we're going to rescue Pronto Squad. As always, just get there, kill all the Banished that are going to spawn, and come in, take all that out until you have freed Pronto Squad. And now we've got one more UNSC Distress Call down, and we'll be moving on. And these distress calls are a good way to gain valor. Again, we need this valor so we can spawn better vehicles and get better weapons, including some flying vehicles that we're going to be using later. So from Pronto Squad, we're going to get our next Spartan Core, which is south. So all the way at the south edge of this portion of the map. So you can see we're all the way at the edge here on these hexagonal, Forerunner structures here. So there's two ways you can get here. The easiest way is to go all the way to the southern edge where I am now, and you can actually just fall off the back. So if you kind of look exactly where I am, you can again fall off the back and look down, and eventually you're going to see a one that has kind of dirt on it. So if you fall down there, the Spartan Core is going to be right here in front of you. So there will be some enemies down here. You could just grab the core if you wanted to and just kind of dip out, or you can kill them, whatever you want to do. But either way, once you've done that, you can collect the Spartan Core right at the end here. So I want to take this opportunity to also talk about the Wanna Have a Catch achievement, and I'll also show you the other entrance that can lead you here if you're having trouble trouble kind of jumping off the south, but you saw me stick that brute there. So want to have a catch, we do need to stick 50 enemies with sticky grenades throughout the campaign. I'll remind you a couple times here and there, but be sure you're doing that as we play. Again, we want to knock out all these achievements. Now there is a cave system that leads to that as well, so if you're having trouble kind of going off the southern ledge, you can see right here kind of south of that spire. So there's the spire right in front of me. So if you head south of that, you'll find this cave entrance right here, and it's got a red light to kind of light it up. So this same cave system will lead to that Spartan Core, but you'll fight a lot of enemies on the way. So moving on, now we're going to go to Foxhound Squad. So that, you know, from all the way to the Spartan Core, now we're going north of FOB Delta, and you can see we're going to go up on this large mountain. So this is the largest mountain in the game, and we'll get an achievement related to that here in a minute. But the first thing we want to do is go up here and rescue Foxhound Squad, get a little bit more valor, and get another UNSC Distress Call off the board. So from that, we want to get our next Spartan audio log, which is actually in the area Foxhound Squad is in. So where those Marines were behind the sandbags, just go back behind there, and you'll find this audio log sitting on this kind of ammo crate, or whatever this crate is. From that audio log, we're going to get our next armor locker, and we can see that is kind of the east of us, all the way at the edge of this large mountain. So it's not too far. So you can see I'm just heading from Foxhound Squad. I've kind of, you know, marked it on my tac map here, and I'm just going to head in that direction. So head all the way over here, and you'll find this behind some sandbags.
But his signal is diminishing rapidly.
I'll keep it brief. Open up a channel. I think we found our rendezvous point.
All right, so while we're up here, we're going to go ahead and get the Nosebleed Achievement, which is to take in the best view, which is essentially being at the highest point in the game. So you can see I marked that armor locker that's a little bit west of Foxhound Squad. So that's just kind of give you an indication of which direction to go. So again, this is where we rescued Foxhound Squad right here to my right. And if you just kind of go in this direction, again, gonna go northwest, you're going to be able to climb all the way to the top of this. Now you don't have to climb up here. You could actually just fly up here with a flying vehicle if you wanted to. So if you kind of capture a Banshee, or if you purchase a Wasp from a FOB later in the game, you could just fly up here. You don't even have to get out. But as long as you're in this location, take in the view and get the Nosebleed Achievement. So from that, we're going to head now to the armor locker that we marked. So you can see that's just west of us. Now we're going to be dropping off the cliff. So we've got everything that we needed to get that was up on the top here. So just west, we're going to just fall down. So you can see this is where we grabbed that achievement. So just go ahead and fall off that western cliff. And right where we marked that armor locker, you can see it's going to be a little bit down where we are because we're pretty high up. But again, there's no fall damage, so don't worry about that. So just fall all the way down and get that next armor locker. Well, I guess you shouldn't say all the way down, right? It's not at the very bottom, but mark it on your tac map. You should be able to find it pretty easily. Another miscellaneous achievement that we're going to go ahead and get right now, and again, you can get this at any time, but I just happened to get it right here. Several points throughout the game, enemies will be in ghosts, okay? And one of the things that you need to do with the new grapple equipment is essentially just shoot your grapple gun at the ghost. You don't have to press anything else. As soon as you use your grapple, it will automatically hijack the ghost for you. And once you do that, you will unlock the whip riding the ghost achievement. And again, there's multiple opportunities to get this.
Backup.
All right, so here we are. We're going to get Thunder Squad next. So just north of the armor locker that we just got, kind of down on the cliff edge. Now this one's a little bit tricky to find. If you highlight the marker, it kind of takes you down here and you're looking for it. But there's actually a cave system that goes into the mountain itself. So you're going to need to go through that cave and then rescue Thunder Squad. From Thunder Squad, we're going to get our next Spartan audio log, so you can see this kind of road that's heading west from Thunder Squad. So that's the cave that we just rescued them from. So just place a marker, or you don't even have to. Just go west and you'll follow this road, and it's going to lead you to a downed Pelican. Again, it's really close by Thunder Squad, so just kind of head west on that road and you'll find our next audio log kind of tucked inside this wrecked Pelican. From that audio log, again, we're going to continue west along the road that we're going on. So again, just get out of the Pelican, hop in a ghost, or run over there, fly over there, whatever you want to do. But continue along this western road, and not very far after that, you're going to see your next propaganda tower just sitting right here, ready for you to blow up. All right, so from that propaganda tower, we're going to get our Forerunner Artifact. So this is kind of southwest of us up on this, mountain area. So again, we're not going all the way to the top where we were, but now we're heading to this area. Place, a marker where I was, so you can see I've headed southwest, kind of south by southwest. You can see this artifact here. And these, you can't miss them. They're these huge rings kind of sitting out in the middle of the open. They're very difficult to miss. But once you get up here, just go ahead and get close to it, and you'll be able to scan it in order to get the next Forerunner Artifact off the board.
UNSC distress signal intercepted. The squad's nearby.
From this Forerunner Artifact, we're going to go ahead and rescue Harpoon Squad, which is just a little bit west of the Forerunner Artifact itself, really not far at all. So as always, head over there, do some damage, take out all those banished, and rescue your next squad to get a little bit more valor and another UNS Distress Call off the board. From Harpoon Squad, we're going to head, kind of west, a little bit north, kind of west by northwest to our next propaganda tower, which is just east of FOB Charlie. It's kind of hidden in some trees here, but again, if you just mark it, go where I was, you're going to be able to hear, the propaganda tower, spewing propaganda. So go ahead and destroy that. And now we have taken another propaganda tower off the board. Now we're going to continue west, and we're going to go ahead and capture FOB Charlie. Now, I did find FOB Charlie to be a good opportunity to get one of the miscellaneous achievements, which is passing the gas. And passing the gas requires you to kill a grunt that is a suicide grunt that has been thrown by a brute. So this is a good opportunity to do it because there's a lot of grunts and there's a lot of brutes. And essentially what you want to do is kind of back off of them a little bit so that the grunt will then go in suicide form like that. And then if you're further enough away, then a brute will go and chuck that grunt at you. So that's a good opportunity to do it. I'll show you another place that's really good in order to get that achievement as well, but this is a good spot, and you can always restart your checkpoint in order to get that if you want to. But nonetheless, once you've killed all of the enemies in this section, now we can capture FOB Charlie, and again, it's a great fast travel point. It'll also locate a lot of collectibles around you, and as always, at every FOB will be an audio log. This one, just like the others, is just to the right of the capture point, kind of on this crate here. So go ahead and grab that, and then we'll go back into our TAC map to get our next Spartan audio log. So this one is going to be east from us, so you just kind of mark it where I did, so you can see we're at FOB Charlie, and this one's a little bit east, kind of northeast from the propaganda tower, but that's just going to give us a good general direction. So go ahead and head in that direction. So again, we're heading kind of east from the FOB itself, and when you get to the road, now you just want to go up to the next cliff edge here. So we're not going all the way to the top, but we're just going up this first cliff edge, and then we'll head around this next rock that's sitting up here for our next audio log. From that audio log, we're going to get our first banished high-value target, Valkyrus. And Valkyrus is a little bit west from FOB Charlie, and all these are the same, all right? They're going to be on the map, and you're going to go there. There's going to be a special banished enemy that you need to kill, but you also need to kill all of the banished enemies that are there with them. And as you're doing that, again, a reminder, be sure you're sticking enemies for that, want to have a catch achievement. You don't even have to kill them. As long as you're sticking enemies, that'll count for that. So once you kill him and all the banished that are with him, we will finish our next banished high value target. Next up is our next UNSC Distress Call, which is Lancer Squad, which is northwest of Valkyrus. So go up there, clean up all the mess, save those Marines, get a little bit more valor, and check off another of the UNSC Distress Calls. From Lancer Squad, we're going to head south. There's an armor locker right south of where we were, very close by, so you can kind of mark that on your TAC map if you want to, but you can see from Lancer Squad, it's only about 160 meters, so just head south and you'll find this armor locker tucked right up next to a rock. From that armor locker, we're going to be moving on to our next propaganda tower, which is just south of us, very, very close by. So I've just placed a, random custom waypoint here, but just head south, and very close to the armor locker, you're going to find your next propaganda tower. So go ahead and blow that up and get that noise out of here. From that propaganda tower, now we're going to head southwest to Titan Squad, which is kind of down off the ledge here, so not too far. But go ahead and go down there, rescue them, and get a little bit more valor and another UNS Distress Call off the board. So from Titan Squad, now we're going to do our next Banished Outpost, which is Forge of Tish. Again, as I've mentioned in the previous Outpost, you do need to complete these not only for the achievement, but also for our collectibles, because there are some doors in here that are going to be closed. So go ahead and go in there, do all the objectives, and once you kind of complete the outpost itself, now we're going to grab all the collectibles. You know, you may see some as you're playing it, but again, we'll cover them all now. Don't worry too much about getting them before you complete the outpost. Just do your objective and complete it. So now we're in the Forge of Tish, and we're going to get all of the collectibles. Our first one is in this building that has the large crane kind of coming off the front of it. So you know, this is a very noticeable building. You will come in here as part of clearing out the outpost itself, but when you come into this building, you're going to find your first Banished Audio Log right next to this column. From the Banished Audio Log, go ahead and head up to the second level of this room. Just to the right of this ramp here is our next Spartan Core.
Excavation site to be.
From that Spartan Core, now we're going to exit this building, and you can see we're kind of exiting out the northern side of that building. And if you just look to the right or northeast of the building we were just in, you'll see an opening that's heading into the mountain itself. Go into that opening, and all the way at the back is our next Banished Audio Log. All right, from that Banished Audio Log, now we're just going to turn around and we're going to exit this building. So we're just running out here, and as soon as you get out, immediately turn to the right, and you can see this banished building here. We're going to jump on top of this, and what we're actually trying to do is get up to this cliff that's to our right. So go ahead and jump out, and now I'm kind of speeding it up, but I'm kind of making my way up to this cliff edge here. And once you get up here, you'll see a small tunnel that's kind of lit up by this yellowish green light. Go into that tunnel, and shortly after you go into it, you will find kind of a camp little here, you know, small camp setup, and our next audio log on this sleeping bed here. All right, so let's open up our TAC map, and we're going to get our next Spartan audio log. So you can see this spire-like structure here that's a little bit west of FOB Charlie. Put your marker on the northwestern portion of that spire structure, okay? And head over in that direction so you can see this is where my marker brought me. So as we're on the northwestern portion of this kind of Forerunner structure, if you jump onto these hexagonal columns, you'll find a little camp out here with our next audio log. All right, so from this audio log, we're going to get our next UNSC audio log, which is digging deeper. So if you see where we are now, we're going to head straight south. So from this, we're going to go south. I'm just directly south, and this is going to take us kind of across the outpost itself. So this is all kind of considered part of the outpost, but just make your way across the outpost. So you can see where I placed my marker, and it's actually going to take me past the outpost itself. South, you're going to find this road, and I'm going to be up on this cliff edge. So there's the Forge of Tish. I'm a little bit southeast. I'm up on this ledge, so you can see I'm looking over the roads. You can see just where I am. So right on the top of this is our next audio log on these kind of ammo crates. All right, so from that audio log, now we're going to head west to get our next Spartan audio log. And again, we're just west of us, so you can see that armor locker there. But in this water here, so you can see it on your map, just place a marker so you know where we're going. So if you kind of look from, you know, where we are here, you can actually look over there. You'll see these Forerunner columns again on the back there, but we're actually going to the bottom. So make your way over there however you want. Get a vehicle, run, grapple, however you want to. But make your way all the way over to that wall, kind of where this waterfall is, and water's coming down these structures. But we're going to shoot up to this small little ledge here, and on this small little ledge here, kind of at the bottom, is our next audio log. So from that audio log, we're going to go ahead and get this armor locker that is right to the west of it. So you can see that this one is now up above us. So go ahead and grapple onto the top, just straight from that audio log. Just start grappling straight up. And when you get to the very top, you're going to be in this stream of water. Just head immediately upstream, and not too far from the very top, you'll find the armor locker right here on the right. Alright, so after we've collected that armor locker, let's go ahead and open up our attack map, and we're going to head west now to Indiana Squad. So you can see that's kind of west of where we were. Just take this road all the way over there. As always, get into the mix, show them how Spartans do it, rescue Indiana Squad, get a little bit more valor, and one more UNSC Distress Call down. From Indiana Squad, now we're going to head south. So you can see we're going to have to go over this kind of small mountain here. So we've gone over it, and on the other side of that mountain is another propaganda tower waiting to be destroyed.
Banished vehicles coming.
From that propaganda tower, we're going to get our next armor locker. So from that propaganda tower, you can see we kind of went basically east, a little bit south, all the way to the road. And this is pretty easy to find. It's right beneath this small bridge here, kind of in this creek or river, whatever. So collect that armor locker, and now we're going to head kind of downstream. So open up the attack map. I'm going to put a custom waypoint about where this is, but essentially if you just turn left and go downstream, kind of down this creek or river, whatever, and essentially once you get to the point where the rocks are rising on the left and the right, at that point go ahead and grapple up to the left here, and when you get up to the ledge, you should find this audio log right behind a rock. Alright, so moving on, we're going to get our next Spartan Core. This can be found kind of southwest, or just south actually, of that armory that was in the river. So just kind of go south from that. This one's pretty easy to find. You're going to find this large kind of structure here. If you head down to the bottom, you're going to see an open door that you can go into, and there'll be another door that you can go into with a dead, kind of brute chieftain there. So if you look to the left of him, you'll find your next Spartan Core.
This guy.
All right, so let's open up our attack map, and now we're going to go south of that Spartan Core to our next banished high-value target, which is Ignovus, or however you say that. Same thing here. Go ahead and take out that high-value target as well as all the banished that are with him, and you will have one more of those down, several more to go, but that's a good one to kill.
Just thinking about it.
From that banished high-value target, we're going to head southwest, kind of to this little, separate islet over here. So you can see it's actually a gap that you're going to have to jump across. But if you head over to this kind of like little islet section of the connections portion of the map, you're going to find this propaganda tower right here for us to blow up. From that propaganda tower, now we're going to head northwest towards Pyramid Squad, and we're going to head in that direction because our next audio log is pretty much on the way. So just kind of head in that direction. So you see we're going towards Pyramid Squad. It's about 300 meters from that propaganda tower. So if you can use that as a kind of general point of reference, okay? So once you get about 140 meters away, 140, 130, hop out, and on the left hand side you'll see a bunch of dead Marines, one of which will have your next audio log. So of course, while we're here, go ahead and rescue Pyramid Squad as well. That'll knock out one more of our UNSC Distress Calls, get you a little bit more valor, and unlock a new weapon for you if you've been following this guide. From Pyramid Squad, now we're going to head northeast, or actually just east of Pyramid Squad actually, but kind of far from where we were. We're heading all the way back over, kind of northwest of FOB Echo on the road here, and now we're going to go over there and we're going to rescue Bluebell Squad, which is down there in a fight. So go ahead and get down there. There's a cool rocket warthog we can use to help them out, so bang that out, and we'll be moving on to our final collectible of the southern portion of this area, which is a propaganda tower that's just to the east of Bluebell Squad. So just head east. It's not too far. You'll find it right here on this edge of the cliff that's right here. So go ahead and blow that up. And that's going to be the last item that we're going to do in the southern portion of the connections area of Zeta Halo. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm trying to do it in an efficient way to kind of get things as we play. And the next thing that we're going to be doing is the main mission excavation. So if you kind of look at your map at this point, so if you open up your TAC map, we've kind of cleared out the entire southern region of the connections portion of the map. And now we're going to be heading up to the excavation main mission right here in the next video. And then we'll tackle all of the northern part of this section. So I hope you're finding it helpful, and hopefully I'll see you in the next part.